Hey, what's up guys, it's SirTagCR, and today we're back yet again after the new balance changes with one of the new decks. We're actually going to be running the Goblin Giant and the Sparky because they most recently both got a buff. This deck is primarily used in CRL with the Giant, but since the Goblin Giant got a buff, it's a lot better as a tank, and obviously the Giant got a nerf. This deck is a heavy bait deck with the Spear Goblins, the Goblin Giant, and the Bats for a lot of swarm elements. Also the Sparky, obviously, if they have Zap. Not too many people are running Zap, everyone's running Barb Barrel, so that's another great reason to use Sparky. So check out this deck for 12 Wing Grand challenges, or play it on the ladder, and let me know how it ends up working for you down below in the comment section. Alright guys, we got a game against someone for Parabellum. We're going to be saucing out a good luck here, and we're just going to wait a little bit. He is not dropping anything. There he goes. He goes in for a Royal Ghost. We're going to go drop our Lumberjack right on top of that Royal Ghost, obliterate it, and then we'll have a Spear Goblin counter push with that Lumberjack. I definitely want to zap that immediately, so the Lumberjack's going to be a little bit healthier. Keep the Spear Goblins alive a little bit longer. We get a hit from the Lumberjack as a result of that zap. We also force a zap out of our opponent on the Spear Goblins, which is not a play that he really wants to do. A 2-for-2 trade. Never want to do even trades on defense if you can help it. You always want to be cost effective and get positive elixir trades on defense. I end up going for Bats since he did go in for a zap. That means that our Bats will be able to thrash the P.E.K.K.A. for quite a while. So he does have P.E.K.K.A. That is going to be a little bit annoying for us, especially P.E.K.K.A. and Zap when we do have Sparky and Goblin Giant, but I still think we can overcome this matchup. Definitely going to zap that yet again to make sure that the Spear Goblins have an easy time cleaning that up. And we still get one Spear Goblin across the map to get hits. Let's go. Very clean for us to kick things off. So he could go in for another type of P.E.K.K.A. push. He could go for some Bridge Spam. We'll have to wait and see what he has in store for us. We'll see if he also has Electro Wizard, which is a stark possibility. I'm going to end up going for a Sparky in the back, and then I want to go and drop a Goblin Giant as soon as possible. So he's just going to pre-poison. So he might try to cycle 2 poisons on us. I don't know. He doesn't have a very fast cycle deck, so I don't think that's a really strong possibility, but it is a possibility. Doesn't look like he's cycling pretty vigorously, so it's not going to happen. He probably will zap, so I don't want to drop my Bats on top of the Sparky just yet. Yeah, so he does have Electro. So I was a little bit worried about that. I'm just going to straight up Fireball, get some chip damage, and not worry anymore. If he goes in for a Battle Ram, I will have to zap as well. Otherwise, I just want to go in for a Lumberjack in range that the Bandit does not dash. It just walks towards. The Lumberjack is still alive. He did use a zap, so I want to go for Spear Goblins and zap again. Maybe we can get some easy chip damage. I love this push. I love the Lumberjack plus the Spear Goblins. And look at that Lumberjack loving that tower. Clobbering it, boys. So he's going to go for a P.E.K.K.A. in the back. I definitely want to go for a Sparky in the back to mirror that. And just make sure that we get a nice counter push here. So he keeps going in for that poison damage. It's not significant. You can't double poison me here. You don't have a fast enough cycle deck. I want to go for Bats early. Spear Goblins. Maybe I can get a very juicy Fireball. Is he going to drop Electro? No, but we do end up killing the Bandit, I presume. Yep, he did double poison. So that's what I was expecting. We have a Mega Minion. I don't really want to go right into a P.E.K.K.A. right here. We'll wait and see what he's up to. So I'm going to end up going and starting off with the Sparky yet again. We have the Goblin Giant on top of the tower, thrashing about. We're playing safe here, guys. I didn't want to overcommit on offense. I could have thrashed him, could have spent a little bit more on Elixir and committed to the offense, but I'd rather play safe and sound, especially when we have Sparky and we're facing Electro Wizard plus Zap deck. So, yeah, it's a little bit scary, not going to lie here. Trying to devour his units from afar with the Sparky, then going to use our Goblin Giant. His P.E.K.K.A. should be out of cycle because he just dropped it. It's going to end up having Electro Wizard, so I don't really want to go for my Sparky here. That would be pretty bad for us. I want to just go for our Lumberjack. The Lumberjack will die, and it'll rage up the Goblin Giant, and I think we get a couple hits as a result from that. So despite him having P.E.K.K.A., I still think we get hits with the Goblin Giant, and that should secure the victory. So GG, well played, and peace out, Girl Scout. Lumberjack is really good with this deck. It just allows me to get damage where I wouldn't have otherwise. So just going to cycle the Fireball because he is still playing, guys. This guy's a certified savage. GG, well played, and peace out, Girl Scout. Pleasure playing against you, man. Alright, we got a game against Nova Steven. We're going to go sauce out a Zap just to cycle. Don't really want to drop anything else. Trying to encourage him to drop some unit. So he's going to end up going in for a Tombstone. Probably going to be Lava Loon. Might be a Graveyard Freeze deck. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, he's saucing out a good luck, and he's also going to have Ice Spirit. So it's not going to be Lava Loon. Ice Spirit, Log. It's going to be a cycle deck. Maybe it's a Hog Rider cycle deck with Valkyrie and Flying Machine and Fireball. That's what it's looking like. Yeah, it's the Hog Rider deck. So I'm going to have to go for Bats here. Since he does have Log, I assume he doesn't have Zap. He might have the Snowball variation, though. Doesn't look like it. He's going to drop Mega Minion as well. I think the Lumberjack gives it a lot of love on that tower. Oh my gosh, 3 hits. See, I've seen people use Royal Ghost in this deck, or Valkyrie even. I just don't see it. I love And I mean, I love the Lumberjack. It is one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion. One of the most underrated cards. It can take towers like crazy. I'm going to go sauce out another cycle of Spear Goblins here. We got the Goblin Squad. We got the Goblins with the giant little kangaroo pouch there. And yeah, they are cleaning up the skeletons. I can easily just go in for a Mega Minion right on top of that flying machine. Make sure it doesn't get any hits on our tower. When I go and cycle my Sparky, I want to be in the lower tower. Even though if he fireballs that, I just want to preclude any potential of any Hog Rider. Hog Rider is going to get devoured by the Sparky. That's a bad play for him. He gets one hit, Hog Rider gets shattered. And now we get a pretty nice counter push. Reason being is he's not going to have a phenomenal way of killing a Goblin Giant Sparky when he doesn't have a great way of resetting it, right? So we're going to go in. The Mega Minion should straight up die to the Goblin Giant plus Bats. He's going to go Fireball, and he does end up hitting the Sparky. But yeah, we are still alive. Sparky is still charging up, and we clean up everything because the Goblin Giant plus the Spear Goblin's great at killing swarm units. And he does devour our push, but he's probably going to go in for another Hog Rider. And if he does, we have a Mega Minion, we have Sparky, so it's not really a strong possibility of him going right into us. If I was him, I would Hog Rider opposite lane. We'll see if he does that. So it's looking like that's the case. I'm just going to try to get away with Bats here. If he fireballs, then, you know, we're going to be in a decent situation moving forward. Obviously, we don't have to respond too much because our tower on the left-hand side is pretty low as well. So it's around even now. He did get all that damage just to make sure that he has the potential of changing lanes. So that was a good play on his end. It was definitely the correct maneuver. But we're going to be ahead because he decided to do that. He had to work on a full health tower to get into that position. So our Lumberjack is probably going to pulverize. I was hoping that he would go in for a Tombstone a little bit closer. I don't know if that Sparky's going to get a hit. It was really close. Going for a Sparky here. If he goes in for a Hog Rider, I will have to Mega Minion. If he goes in for a Valkyrie, I'll try to kite it with the Goblin Giant here. And then I want to go in for a Mega Minion. So the Mega Minion will end up killing the Hog Rider, I assume. If I go Spear Goblins as well. This guy's playing really well, by the way. I have to give him credit. I'm going to go in for a zap here. I don't even think I should have zapped, but we do win the game. Yeah, so the Goblin Giant kiting the Valkyrie was the key maneuver that allowed the Mega Minion to lock on top of the Hog Rider, securing the W. GG, well played and peace out, Girl Scout. Pleasure playing against you, man. Very close game and a very good player. So we're going to be jumping right into this game. We're going to drop a Lumberjack on defense against the Hog Rider. We see Hog Rider plus Skeletons. Maybe it's going to be 2.6. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to end up having Ice Spirit, so it most certainly will be 2.6 Hog Rider. I'm going to end up going for a Sparky in the back. And we'll see what's up. I can easily just go in for Bats, or I could end up going in for a Goblin Giant. I think the Goblin Giant is our best course of action here. I'm going to drop it a little bit closer to our Sparky so it doesn't endeavor too far ahead. And I want to go for Bats off to the side. So I'm going for Bats here because I want to go closer to the tower. Maybe he's going to drop a Ice Golem, and the Ice Golem just dies immediately. See if he logs or Skeleton surrounds. Skeleton surround. I almost pre-zapped that. I was a little bit hesitant. Didn't want to immediately. So I'm going to end up going for a Mega Minion here, and then I want to end up going in for a Lumberjack. I don't want to go for Spear Goblins because he might just pre-log them. Did not, so we're just going to relax a little bit. We end up having the Lumberjack going closer to the tower, and the Mega Minion is also approaching. So the Mega Minion's going to get raged up. He's going to end up having to go for an Ice Spirit. Maybe an Ice Golem. Okay, an Ice Golem out cycle. That is really good for us to get that out of cycle instead of an Ice Spirit. So can definitely go in for a Sparky here. We know that he's most likely going to end up going for Skeletons relatively soon. I might have to go in for... Nope, the Skeletons are in the back. He's not going to be back to that, so he's just going to Fireball for some chip damage. He can't go for a Hog Rider head first into that. He might try to cycle 2 Fireballs. It's not double elixir yet, so I doubt it. I'm going to end up going in for a Goblin Giant here. He does go in for the log. I'm going to go for Bats here. He's probably going to end up going in for Ice Spirit. Alright, so he's going to have to Ice Golem it. Spear Goblins are still out here. He Fireball, so he does the double Fireball. That's a really good play by him. So this guy's a good 2.6 player, not going to lie. Does not have Ice Golem in cycle yet. He might Hog Rider. If he does, I will Lumberjack. And then I'm going to immediately follow up with a Goblin Giant. He only gets 1 hit there, which is pretty decent for us. Could Fireball this and then Zap. I think that's probably our best play to get the Goblin Giant locked on, getting extra damage. Lumberjack is still alive. He has to Hog Rider. I'm going to go for a Mega Minion here. I'm going to go for another Lumberjack with a double Mega Minion here. Want to get a Mega Minion closer to the tower. The Lumberjack's just going straight towards him. Takes down the tower like a champ. Holy crap, man. If I win this game, it's solely because of that Lumberjack, boys. I have to go Sparky here just to preclude any potential of him breaking through. What are you going to do? Drop a Hog Rider into that? I don't think that's a possibility at all, my man. He's going to hog, or is he just giving up? I think he gave up. I think he aborted the mission as soon as I dropped the Sparky. GG, well played, and peace out, Girl Scout. Pleasure playing against you. That Lumberjack, man. OP tactics. That's why I love the Lumberjack. The rage just makes wonders happen for you. All right, we're going to be dropping a good luck here. We're going to see what's up. This dude is going to end up going for an Ice Golem. We're going to go for a Sparky in the same lane as the Ice Golem. We're going to see if we can accomplish anything with that Sparky. He's going to end up going in for a Battle Ram in the back, so it might be a 3 Musketeers deck, might be a Bridge Spam deck. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to go Mega Minion right on top of it. Should end up dying 3M, so I'm going to Fireball and Zap it so it just dies, keeping the Sparky a little bit healthier. Very important to have fast fingers and make sure that that doesn't wreak havoc on you. I'm going to go for a Spear Goblins right in front of the Mega Minion. Maybe we can get some extra value because we know that the Sparky is not going to... I don't know. The Sparky's just not going to give us any value there. So let's just try to make something happen on the other side. At least we get 2 Mega Minion swipes because of that. No, we only got 1. Oh! I counted my blessings before they actually happened, boys. Unfortunate circumstances here. But we do have Fireball Zap to swiftly eliminate any type of 3 Musketeers push. He might end up going for a Collector, and if he does, we obviously don't have Fireball, so I have to commit heavily to an offense. Does not have Goblin Gang to distract. He's going to end up having Battle Ram. He could also end up having the Ice Golem. I think his primary defense will be the Battle Ram, and then drop the Ice Golem as soon as we drop the Bats. So I want to make sure the Ice Golem dies before I drop my Bats. So actually going to go for a Minion Horde, so I guess our best tactic right now is just to zap with the Bats and kill. He also zaps, so I guess Spear Goblins are the wave. Goblin Gang should end up down to the Spear Goblins. Oh, that was awesome. And then the Goblin Gang actually ends up tanking the Sparky, and the Sparky takes out the tower. It was a game of inches there, boys. That was really coming down to the wire. That Sparky hit just allowed us to have a significant advantage now. I assume he's going to go for 3 Musketeers soon, so... I am faced with a situation. Do I want a Fireball or do I want to start off Sparky? I want to start a Sparky and save my Fireball. I do not want to get overwhelmed here. I'm going to go for a Lumberjack. I'm still saving my Fireball. And it looks like I have to Fireball all this. Don't want that to take my tower. Looks like he's probably going to 3 Musketeers soon. And I can Goblin Giant on the lane of the 2. I think the Sparky is able to get some nice value here, especially if I go for Bats. Bats plus Goblin Giant, and then I go Spear Goblins as soon as the Musketeer locks on to retain more value out of our Spear Goblins. Make sure if he drops anything else, we have some answer there. I'm going to Fireball again because he has a Miner. I can't let any of that Minion Horde lock onto my tower. We lose the game. The Miner does a stagnant 500. I don't care about that. That is not an immediate issue, especially with you zapping. I think I'm in a great situation. If I Sparky here, I think we're able to end up defending. He's not going to be able to do anything about that. That Battle Ram is thrashed. But then I can go for Spear Goblins and zap and finish off the Minion Horde. I saved enough Elixir because I did not actually overextend or drop anything else. I knew the Sparky would do its job, and I saved my Elixir to deal with the Minion Horde. So GG, well played, and peace out, Girl Scout. Interesting game. I just elected to go for a heavy push, and it paid off. I'm going to go for Spear Goblins at the river. Dropping them off to the side gets 1 extra hit. He's just going to zap it. So after we see the zap, we know that our Bats are probably going to have free reign on defense, but... Just going to go cycle them, see if he's going to be dropping anything. I don't really want to make the first move with the heavy unit. So I'm going to go for the Goblin Giant in the back, mimicking his Giant. Goblin Giant is buffed, and Giant was nerfed in the previous balance changes, the ones before this one. So, oh wow, alright. Well, I guess we're running the same thing. I think I just have the better variation since I end up having Goblin Giant. I like mine a lot more. Unfortunately, he will have Bats here. And I think the Bats won't be too big of an issue if I just Mega Minion this. I can zap that as well to make sure his Sparky ends up dying before ours. Wow, he's going to end up going in for a Ram. Not the same deck, guys. He's going to have Sparky Ram, which is interesting to see. I think our best bet on defending here is going to go in for Spear Goblins off to the side to pull the majority of them, but not all of them. He's actually going to zap, and that means that I actually have to go for Bats on defense. That's going to be a lot of damage, guys. Oh, man. But the Lumberjack comes through. Lumberjack sweeps up a lot of tower damage on the left-hand side. I was worried about my tower and the Minion Horde and the Zap, but wow. That Lumberjack is just paying back in dividends there, boys. That 4 Elixir investment, we struck gold with that one. He's going to end up going for a Sparky in the back, so we're going to try to save our Zap for that. We're not going to zap the Bats. The Zap on Bats could be really catastrophic for us. That is the bait. Quite literally the bait, boys. We're not falling for the bait. Goblin Giant should put in enough work on top of the Bats anyway. And then I can Mega Minion here. And that's just the main reason to use the Goblin Giant. It cleans up a lot of the Swarm units that could distract or kill the Sparky. So, really good for me. I'm going to go in for another Lumberjack because I know the Lumberjack is just going to charge everything up. I'm going to go zap the Minion Horde, though. I think that that's going to be our best case scenario, is zapping that. So then he doesn't have any other way of breaking through. Do I want a Goblin Giant on that, or do I just want to eat it? I think eating it is probably our best bet. Go Sparky opposite. I want to change things up. Might do some type of funky tower trade, but, ah, man, he's not about it. He did just zap, though. You know what? I'm feeling frisky. I'm going to go in for Bats, and I'm going to go for Goblin Giant. I don't want to zap that. Really don't want to zap that. I guess that we're going to do some tower trade, or not tower trade, but a trade with our Sparky. It's just going to let ours die. Lumberjack is still alive. I wonder if we're going to get a raged up Goblin Giant here. Can I do it? I don't know if that's a great play. Okay, this is good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let the Battle Ram connect, and then I'm going to Fireball. So then I hit the Barbarians as well. That's an underrated play that I don't see done near enough. If you actually do that, you're going to get so much more value. Otherwise, you're going to Fireball back, and then it still connects, and you just lose the game then, right? So it looks like he's going to be adventurously endeavoring with that Giant. I'm going to end up going in for a Goblin Giant here. I just want to get some damage. A little bit of damage is all I want in life, boys. I'm going to go zap as soon as it starts to connect. Whew, it was coming in frisky for us. I'm going to Fireball so then the Lumberjack gets one hit. If the Lumberjack gets a hit, we win the game. Or I need to go in for a zap, and then I think we also take it as well. So looks like he's probably going to be playing pretty aggressive here. If I can just cycle back to a zap, cycling the cheaper card so I can get back to it, we will walk away with the W. GG, well played, and peace out, Girl Scout. Our Goblin Giant variation is vastly superior to his Giant.